Okay, guys, I'm going to go over the problems for this practice test. So for these problems, remember that formula is right here, right where the top is the two numbers in the middle multiplied together, and then the bottom is the two added together. So for instance, you need to figure out two numbers that multiply to 12 and add to 7. So those are 3 and 4, because 3 times 4 is 12, and 3 plus 4 is 7. For these, you need two numbers that multiply to negative 15 and add to 2. So you need to think about numbers that multiply to negative 15 are obviously the only numbers that multiply to a negative number are one positive and one negative. So, and when you add one positive and one negative, it acts as subtraction. So you really need to think about like multiples of 15 that like subtract 2. So like 1 and 15, 3 and 5. So these have a difference of 2. And so you want to have a difference of positive 2. So it would be 5 and negative 3. Because 5 times negative 3 is negative 15, and 5 plus negative 3 is 2. So you want to do the same thing here with a 36. It helps to if you don't get it right away, it's always helpful to systematically write the numbers. So you start with 1 and 36, 2 and 18, 3 and 12, 4 and 9. So you need two numbers that multiply to positive 36 and add to negative 36. So the only way that you multiply to positive and add to negative is if they're both negative. And so if they're both negative, then they act like a sum. So you want to look like a numbers that have a sum of 13. So that's 4 and 9. So it's negative 4 and negative 9. So negative 4 times negative 9 is equal to positive 36, and negative 4 plus negative 9 is negative 13. Okay, so here all these you want to use the cross multiply method. So you want to multiply the ones that top and bottom together, and then these top and bottom. And then so then you have the first one, 7 times x minus 10, and then equals 9 times x, which is 9x. And so you can see this is the green part multiplied together, right? And then that's the blue. And then, so then 7 times x is 7x. Then 7 times negative 10 is negative 70. And then 9x is just 9x. So you want to solve for x, right? So I first, distributed this. And then now we'll subtract. Oh, let me do it in a different color. So subtract 7x from both sides. So that's negative 70 equals 2x. And then divide both sides by 2, and you get x is negative 35. And then for this one, you can set it up like a cross multiply by writing 2 as 2 over 1, and then do the same thing. So you cross these, the top and bottom here, the top and bottom here. So 7 times 1 is 7, and then 2 times x plus 5. And then that's 7 equals, and then distribute the 2, that's 2x plus 10. And then you're trying to solve for x, so I want to subtract the 10 from both sides. And then that's negative 3 equals 2x. And then divide by 2, and you get x equals negative 1.5. Okay, now do the same thing with this one. Multiply those. Multiply these. And then you get 6x equals 90. And then all you need to do is divide by 6. So x equals 15. Okay. All right, so it says write an expression representing the area of the rectangle. So remember, like, area equals length times width. And then, right, here's the length, and this is the width. So the area is going to equal 3x plus 6 times x plus 2. Now it says, if the perimeter of the rectangle is 32, find the value of x. So this is a rectangle. So remember, like, these sides are the same, and like these sides are the same. So like, right, this would also be x plus 2, and this will also be 3x plus 6. Now also, the perimeter, since you add all the sides, and like a generic rectangle, right, it's like length, length, width, width. So the formula for perimeter is like W plus length, or more simpler, 2W plus 2 length. Right, so then you can just put that in the formula. So if the perimeter is 2W plus 2 length, and they said the perimeter is 32, then the perimeter is 32, and then the width here, so you plug that in. So here's the width, right? So x plus 2. And then you plug in the length. And the length is, I'm having some pen problems here. Doesn't want to change colors for me. Okay, there we go. So the length here is 3x plus 6. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And then now you just simplify. So let me do that over here. So then 32 equals, and now distribute the 2, so that's 2x plus 4, and then distribute the 2 there, that's 6x plus 12. And that's 32 equals, and then you can combine like terms, right? So there's 2x and 6x, so that becomes 8x, and then 4 and 12 becomes 16. And then you can subtract 16 from both sides, and then you get 32, oops, psych, you thought 16 equals 8x, so divide by 8, you get x equals 2. So then it says find the area of the rectangle. Really, you just plug into here, right, since you already set up that. So then the area is 3 times 2 plus 6 times 2 plus 2. So that's 6 plus 6 times 4. So that's 12 times 4. So that's 48. Oh yeah, and then this is the answer for B. Okay, anyways. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, next problem. Okay, now erase all this. Oh, look at that. I figured out how to do it. Okay, so find the slope of the line. So remember, the formula for the slope of the line is change in y over change of x, or really like the difference between the two y's and the difference between the two x's. So this is the y's, and then these are the y values in these points. And then this is the x's, and these are the x's in these points. So whatever you do, you have to do like this in the same order. So if you do the first point, the next point, then you have to, for the y's, then you have to do that same order. So then, so for the y's here, it'll be 1 minus -5. And then for the x's, it's -2 minus -6. All right, and you have to just really be careful about those negatives, right? So 1 minus -5, right, becomes 6. And then -2 minus -6 becomes 4. So your slope reduces to 3/2. So find the y-intercept of the slope. So you want to use your y equals mx plus b. Now you know what m is because this is m. So you plug that in here. So plug in 3/2 for m. And then you have your x. And then what we really need to find, right, is this b value because that's the y-intercept. So to do that, you can plug in like either of these points. I'm going to plug in I'll just plug in this top point. So remember, like, which one's the x and which one's the y. So this one is the y, so that's what I'm going to plug in, and then it'll be 3. Oops. And then 2. And then 3/2 times, and then the -2 is the x value, and then plus b. Right, so we're going to solve for b. So 3/2 times -2 will be -3. So then you get 1 equals -3 plus b. And then you add 3 to both sides. So b equals 4. So this point here, the y-intercept, right, is 0, 4. So what's the equation of the line? Well, you have your m, right, which is here. You have your b, which is here. So then now you can write your equation of line. Y equals m x plus b. There you go. Okay, and then that is the last problem. Then we'll just do this extra credit problem. Okay. Okay, it says draw the following polynomial as a rectangle of algebra tiles that then write the polynomial as a product. So basically this is the area, right? And you want to write it as length times width. So it should be like in parentheses length and in parentheses width. So here's your algebra tile x squared. And remember that always goes in the bottom right corner. And basically you want to figure out like how do you rearrange your 1x tiles here, right, to have your 10 1x tiles, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So your 10 1x tiles so that you have like a grid of 16 like unit squares, right? So basically, it's almost like what two numbers, like it's really the diamond problem here. Like it's what two numbers multiply to 16 and add to 10. So then it's 8 and 2. And that's how you arrange your thing. So 4. So there you have it. There's like your 2x, 8x, and 16. And you can see they all add up to 8x or x squared plus 10x plus 16. And then now this width here, that's what you're trying to figure out. What's your width and then this? So what's this distance, right? This is x plus 2. And then you're like, whoa, and then what's this distance? It's x plus 8. And there you have it.